visit Bangalore, coming from a place like Chennai, which is hot. We enjoy the weather here, though it is hot today outside, but we still feel pleasant being here.
Yeah, not sweating here.
Yeah, exactly. So a quick thing. So the topic is out there, retail jewelry market of Chennai. So I am a graduate gemologist and a jewelry designer. I am also the executive committee member in the Chennai Jewelers Association. My father happens to be the president of the association as well. So this is a quick intro about myself. So let me get this started. A quick preview of what I'm going to cover, right? So first, Chennai in a nutshell. I'll give you all a quick brief intro about Chennai and the market significance, and then I will let you know about the retail map. What happens where in Chennai, so that you understand better. Seasons and festival, very important. Because local, you may be used to certain type of season festival in your region, but in Chennai, things work in a different way. So that is one thing. And types of jewelry and demand by segment. This is some number crunching that we will do, where you will understand what product works more and what are the numbers. So we will do that. And of course, what Chennai likes, designs and motifs. Because pitching in the right product line is very important in entering the market. So what the community likes and everything. So I'm going to be talking about that. And then what does not work. So there is a certain product which has very low acceptance, so that you all should know as well. And then diamonds in Chennai, what is the scene like there? And of course CVD, it's a new thing, and how the market is reacting to that. I'm going to cover that as well. Gemstones is my favorite subject. It is fast gathering attention, which was long due, because they are beautiful, and even the options are much more than typical gold and diamond things. So that is one thing. Silver and platinum, I'm going to touch very few small thing about that. And then innovations in jewelry manufacturing. There's a certain new concept that has come in, which is working quite well in Chennai. So I'm going to be talking about that as well. And what's trending now? Every year, there is something new comes in and takes the city, takes the region by storm. I'm going to cover that as well. So that's a quick preview of what I'm going to be covering today. If we can, Ashwin, we can have the Q&A at the end, or they can always stop me and
Sure. In between also and the end. That's
yeah. Okay, fine. So if there's any doubts anywhere, you can always stop me and ask. Okay. So a quick fact check about Chennai. It's the second richest state in India after Maharashtra in terms of the economy and everything. GDP contribution is about 78.6 billion, which is fifth rank. Bangalore is fourth rank, so we are one step. Bangalore is at 110 billion. We are, I think, population is 1.2 crores. Being a metro it's cosmopolitan. We've got people from all across India, right? We've got Tamils, we've got Telugus, we've got Kannadigas, Malayalam, Malayali. So it's a potpourri. It's a cultural potpourri. The economy is anchored by a lot of industries. Automobile being one, software being of course. Bangalore are leaders in software, but we are also up there somewhere. So these keep the economy stable, right? The market stable, which in turn helps our industry. When the city is doing well, people come out to buy jewelry. So that is one thing. And of course, recently we were also ranked, highest quality of living. So that is also important, I think. So this is a quick fact check about Chennai. And then we move on to the significance, the market significance. So most of your gold jewelry is consumed in the south, about 40%. So when compared to the, so we are at 40%. West is about 30%. North is about 18%, and then there is east. So we take a major chunk of portion there. And among the south, among the four big states, Kerala and TN, we are a gold obsessed state, right? So we take the chunk of it. And one more significance of Chennai is we use the best quality diamonds, right? I don't think I've worked in Antwerp, Belgium for 5 years before I joined my family business. And with pride I can say, among all over the world, I've never seen a city which is just specific about a certain quality of diamond, which is, they only use the top quality. And there's a reason behind it. There's a cultural reason behind it, which I'm going to explain it in detail. So that is one. There are about approx 1,200 GST registered stores in Chennai Corporation, you know, excluding all the suburbs and everything. So this is just pre-COVID data, so I'm sure there are much more now. And unorganized, I think there are about 3,000 plus stores that are operating out of Chennai. It's a market dominated by family businesses. Chain stores, you know, brands, they find it a bit difficult to come in, but once they're in, you know, they made their mark, I think, but it is about 80% dominated by family-run businesses, right? So this is a quick Chennai outlook, how the market is. So we move ahead. Chennai retail map. Where you position and the location of your store helps a lot in pitching in, right? In about your, sometimes people associate your brand with where you're located, right? So there's a place when they know you're here, they know that you get a certain quality of stuff. So it's very important where a shop is located, where a store, a brand is located. So if you take that, there are three main areas in Chennai, you know, which dominates the Chennai scene. Before that, generally the Chennai market is the Chennai retail map. Our location is such that we are very in close proximity to major manufacturing hubs. One being Coimbatore. Coimbatore is about 5 hours from Chennai. Bangalore is also a big manufacturing hub who supply jewelry for Chennai. So they are also a 5 to 6 hour drive from Chennai. So like that, we are strategically placed where we have the best of everything, right? Coimbatore specializes in casting and gold jewelry, whereas we get a lot of this temple work, Nakas work and gemstone studded work from Bangalore. So supply wise, we are sorted there, where So moving on, so I'm going to come to the three areas where we think. So one area is Cathedral Road and TTK Road in Chennai, where it is more of an upmarket designer brand. So most of your single store, family-owned businesses, exclusive people who do niche jewelry, designer jewelry, who offer customized jewelry are located in this area. They are about 2 kilometers away from Marina Beach. Marina Beach, I'm sure all of you have heard, it's our pride, Shan Beach. So Cathedral Road and TTK Road is meant for an upmarket designer kind of a setup. And next is T Nagar. T Nagar, I'm sure a lot of you all have heard of T Nagar. T Nagar is the main downtown where the business action happens. So your mass-produced jewelers, your chain stores, they're all located here. Some big names are like GRT, and a lot of big names are here. And it's a one-stop district where people can come in, get textile, get jewelry, everything, and predominantly gold. The other place, Cathedral and TTK Road, they sell a lot of colorstone, gemstone, but here T Nagar is predominantly gold jewelry, chains, bracelets, and we get a lot of visitors from outside Chennai here, from the other cities surrounding Chennai. People come here, people come in the morning, they are here, they shop, they go back in the evening. So this is where all the main retail action happens. Every brand wants to have a store here. Every new brand. Because T Nagar, when they say T Nagar, they know that you're in the jewelry sector. Next is Saukarpet. Saukarpet is a wholesale segment. I'm sure you would have heard of Nagaratpet, right? Here, it's similar in style to Nagaratpet. Saukarpet is where the wholesale action happens. A lot of bullion dealers are here. This area supplies to the city jewelers and everything. So this is also very significant. It's just adjacent to the main Chennai Central railway station. So proximity is good. And there are also more than 1,000 Bengali karigars who've made this their home. A lot of manufacturing happens here as well. Handmade jewelry. It's an unorganized sector. It's not regulated, but very fine handmade jewelry is done here. They supply to the local jewelers. So it's not for mass produce. So Saukarpet is a place where we do this thing. So besides these three, there are two areas which I want to touch upon. One is Adyar and Anagar. They are new upcoming areas, new potential. So whoever a lot of new brands are wanting to utilize the space to get it. Ananagar is almost like a city on its own. Compared to Chennai, it's in the city limits, but then so Ananagar is one. Adyar is south of Chennai. Again, Adyar is more suited for your boutique kind of a place. designer jewelry probably will be well suited there. So this is a quick retail map about Chennai. We move on to seasons and festivals. Very critical aspect for our trade. It really fuels our business. Usually people plan their, retailers plan their purchases and manufacturing according to the seasons and festivals. People see a lot of, increase in sales during this time, almost a jump of about 15 to 20% than their regular sales. So typically our season starts from Jan 15, which is a Pongal. We call it Pongal Harvest Festival. It's a farmers' festival where the first harvest happens. It's a very sentimental thing where they earn their first money from their harvest. So the farmers, they have their first money, and the first thing they invest in is gold. So it's a very sentimental thing. It's a very religious, spiritual thing. So that is a very symbolic thing. And of course, Akshaya Tritiya, it's a national phenomenon now where it happens in April. Good sales are reported all throughout because of the occasion. Normally May, June is a bit of a dull season in Chennai because of summer. People go on vacations, there is school admissions and college admissions. So not many want to come and buy jewelry during those times. But we have something called the Adi Perku. It's a Tamil calendar thing where it happens during the July to August. It's supposed to be auspicious for the local community. And there's a particular date called Adi Perku where people buy something precious. Because when they know when they are buying something precious, it is a thing that the whole year they can keep buying. So that's the whole beauty of Adi Perku. Wedding season, of course, no need to elaborate on that. It happens. I think Diwali is a good occasion in Chennai, but in the local thing, Pongal takes the highlight. Pongal, I think Diwali is not so big a festival in Chennai, in south than as in north. So that is one thing, but it is still a huge, business generating season. Margali is also a very important season because that's when the NRA community visits Chennai. During Margali, there is something called the music festival which happens. When I say music festival, it's not hip hop or pop. It's a local Carnatic music festival where people from all over the world, they come just to visit that. It happens over a period of 1 month. They come, there are concerts happening all throughout the city and everything. So when there's an NRA influx, right, people buy. And this is a season where the designer boutiques, it's a good time for them. Because, people coming from West, they have good knowledge and about, all the gemstone is happening. They so have, so a lot of customization work happens during those days. So this happens from December to Jan, and of course, the cycle keeps happening. So this is a quick thing about seasons and festivals that is significant in Chennai. So we quickly move on to retail sales by type of jewelry. So this is from World Gold Council, specific to South, TN and South. So these are some numbers. I would like to do some number crunching with you all. The chunk of it is bangles and chains. As you can see, bangles 40%. Why is that? The reason is gold is in general considered a good form of investment. So usually a lot of South Indian women, they love gold bangles. It's an easy form of thing to wear gold bangles. That during weddings, if you see, people wear nice big kalas. So that is something bangles. So hence bangles takes a chunk of it. 30 to 40% sales happen from bangles. This is specific to gold. The range of weight is 8 to 25 grams. Lightweight machine-made bangles are all 8 grams. That is starting, and then 25 grams. The most common is about 10 to 15 grams. This is the chains. Chains is something universal gift. Even men wear it. South Indian men, right? They wear nice chunky gold chains. So we like to look. So chain is also, so hence 10 to 50 grams is the average, the range of weight, and 10 to 20 grams is the most popular range of common weight that sells. Necklaces, of course, next in line, 20% of it, 25 to 50 grams. It can go as heavy as 250 grams. Most of the bridal are towards it, but starting range is 25 grams. and that is the most common weight range is about 30 to 60 grams for necklaces. Earrings, though the earrings, the percentage of retail sales are small, they're useful in making quick sales because of the product weight. Easier for gifting purposes, easier for people buy it for birthdays, people buy it for weddings. So again, 2 to 30 grams. Again, earrings, I would like to specify a trend here. We find chand balis are supposed to be one of the most beautiful sought after thing, right? But not much acceptance in Chennai. People like jhunkis in Chennai. Not many. Chand balis. Yes. Same in Bombay also, right? So chand balis, people do the chain. The chain stores have to have them in stock because there are a lot of it's a bigger community. It has to cater to everyone, but not much preferred in the local community. So they prefer jhunkis over chand balis. So that is something that I want to highlight. 2 to 30 grams again, 3 to 8 grams, lightweight, simple earring set. Again, finger rings, 5 to 15%, 2 to 50 grams. Cocktail rings are now becoming famous in gold and in diamond and everything. So 3 grams again, the most common is 3 grams to 7 grams. So this is a quick overview on how each product. Are we clear here? So I'll quickly move on to how. So this is demand-wise segregation, right? What happens? This is again a statistics from World Gold Council specific to our region. As you can see, straight away bridal, right? 50%. So there was recently we had a very interesting fact where we overtook China as the world's biggest population, right? So the interesting part is about 65% of the population is under 35 years of age in India, and about half the percentage of the population is under 25. So there's going to be a lot of weddings happening. There's going to be a lot of weddings happening. So there's going to be always a market for that. So that's a great news, right? So 50 to 55% purchases happen, the chunk of purchase happen for weddings. To go things, so yeah, small set depends upon the socio-economic condition. A small set starts from the range of 30 to 60 grams. These are all 22 carat items, right? Because when it's plain gold, when it's wedding, it's always typically in the south, it's gold, thin gold. Yeah. So a small set starts from 30 to 60 grams, even if it's bridal. Large sets 60 grams. Earrings, 15 grams is the average for a bridal wear, right? Bangles, 30 grams. Again, every bride has to have, has to wear the thing. In South, we love our waistbands, right?
Yes.
We call it thing. So now, it used to be really heavy, right? Really chunky. Now it used to be 100 grams at one point. Now it's all come down. The market, because of all the gold rate and everything is high now. The average product weight overall has come down by 10 to 20%. That we should.
Lightweight jewelry is a new thing.
Absolutely. Average has come down, has dropped. See, the demand is there, people are buying gold, but they want that light. When they hear that lightweight, it is easier for them to make the purchase. Right? Psychologically, they feel happy. So waistbands were supposed to be 80 to 100 grams, it has been got down to 40 grams. They've become very fashionable now. They're very sleek and things. So waistbands is the thing. And of course, neti chutti. We call it bindi chains. In Hindi, we call it bindi chain. Neti chutti is also a famous ornament which the brides in South, in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai wear. So that's a quick overview about bridal wear, right? 55% big chunk. Someone can really concentrate on that and have a whole line created. So next is daily wear. Of course, an equal amount of significant thing that happens throughout the year. This is a segment that happens. The sales happen throughout the year, despite regardless of thing. So that is 35 to 40% of the chunk. If you see, there's a drastic fall in the size and the weights. If you see the chains, 10 to 20 grams, lightweight, everyday wear chains. Average weight is 10 to 20 grams. Same. Necklaces 20 to 30 grams. Simple. People want simple now. 20 grams. Wearable workwear. Now people have stopped wearing necklaces and they're preferring chains now. So chains itself have become very fashionable, right? There are a lot of embellishment that happens in the chains. Earrings 5 to 8 grams, again lightweight segments. Bangles 10 to 25 grams. Everyone wears bangles, regardless of whether you're a homemaker or whether you go for work. Everyone wear. So pendants 5 to 10 grams. 5 to 10 grams. Again, this is something people like. I'm going to elaborate on the pendant thing later on in the. So 5 to 10 grams is a typical average daily wear weight of fashion jewelry. 5 to 10%. Again, another popular segment with the youngsters, right? With the college going thing. This is where probably all the gemstone jewelry and silver, everything comes into place. So 5 to 20 grams, 8 to 15 grams for the chains. Pendants 1 to 3 grams, really lightweight, really small pieces. Gifting, kids, everything comes in this category. Earrings 3 to 5 grams, very lightweight stuff. So to summarize, bridal wear takes a chunk of market share, 50 to 55%. Daily wear is 35%, and fashion jewelry is 5 to 10%. So this is how the market is behaving right now with the thing. On average, 10 to 20% has reduced because of the gold prices being very strong right now. I hope it was clear. The numbers were understand. So I'll quickly move on to the next thing. So studded jewelry market. So though we are a market obsessed with gold, the scenario is changing. We have a lot of people with broader outlook, more fashion conscious people who no more want just to wear gold chunky pieces. So we have a lot of people who have started recognizing color stones, in a market which is really obsessed with gold. So but still this percentage is still far less compared to in the north. North, this percentage is much more. Probably we're talking about 45, 55. North uses much more gemstones and stones in general than south. So 30% is the market share in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, for studded segment. In studded segment, 70% is taken by diamonds. So it is already a small segment, but 70% is again taken by diamonds, and then the rest is for other gems. In this other gems, there is a big market for synthetic gems. There is a big market for synthetic gems. There is a thing called red stone bangle. Red stone bangle, is a very popular thing. Everyone will have a red stone bangle. We are slowly trying to get them moved to rubies. So that there is a thing. But people are, it is changing. The market is there. People are identifying. People are recognizing this good quality. They know quality. They know if you buy a good quality gem, there is value to it. There is value to it. It's not like it is inferior in quality. There is no resale. A good quality gemstone has as much resale as your diamond.
Both are
Exactly. It is a bit tough to get them to know things are changing, right? So now, yeah.
No, but this market is also for people reality of buyback.
Yes. Tejas, right? Yeah. Now, lot of all the jewelers are giving buyback. Usually, I wanted to cover about the price points. I think. See, normal buyback is from what you paid. Even color stones have a per carat value. So it is not as much as diamonds. It starts from as low as 2,000 rupees per carat to 10,000 rupees. So whatever you pay, there is a buyback for it. People put a value for it. So, but then not many know about it. When they think color stones, but it is not the case. You're paying a value and you're going to get a value. So right now, a lot of jewelers have adopted gemstones into their product line. I will be talking about it in detail later on in my.
As a retailer, we just buy it back and then we push it away.
See, we have to, in color stones, we have to also check the quality of how the gemstones are, because gemstones differ in hardness in diamonds. Diamond is very hard. It can take wear and tear. Whereas in gemstones, ruby, emerald, sapphire to an extent is good because they are more hardy stones. But other gemstones, you have to be a bit wary. You have to check for wear and tear. All that is there. But then your per carat is also low, right? It's only you're paying 2,000 to 5,000 per carat versus diamonds, which is thing.
No, but who will they know whether there's some premium for it or not? Like my value is getting added or not, if you're getting a return on investment or not. Because whatever happens is like when you're buying that.
Absolutely, that's a good question. What happens is we here, there in Chennai, I don't know how things work in the retail market thing. We give splits for everything. There's a gold weight given, there's a gemstone weight given, everything is split is given. So you know where you're paying what.
So even the stone has a certification which has more details.
No, but assume I'm given 10,000 per carat at 2 days practice, and then later on what happens, I go to the store, he said there's a buy back. If we give it on 10,000 and then later reducing it, what about?
You're going to have all the documents with you.
Yeah, no,
They will-
what I'm telling you, there's no return on my investment. That
Yeah,
is
see,
what
I'll tell you what, you can't look at
that
big returns in gemstone unless you're talking about some really collector's type of item where the per carat is 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. You can get a return there. But not in the sea. These are more of a position of pride and think of luxury. It's like as good as going and buying a nice heavy belt or thing because it looks great and you know it. So that's the thing. Gemstone is more of a perceived taste.
And budget like that.
Exactly.
Even
So
the
that
wear
is-
and tear, like depreciation kind of thing happens when we are using any product.
Yes, absolutely. So it's more of a, see, that's the thing. Though it is a market obsessed with investment, but then you can't really be there for a very long time, right? Things are changing. Especially the young gen. I told you half the percentage is less than 25. They don't care about investment and things. They like a nice looking gemstone. They look at rarity. When they know that they don't get, they will not get such a thing at another nice thing because gemstones are like that. They're unique. No two gemstones are similar. That's the beauty of gemstones, and you can't really put a price on the gemstones. So people who understand that this is happening because of the Western influence now. Some nice Hollywood actor wears it. What is that pink color stone? I want that stone. You try to get an alternate. So that is happening. That is starting to happen. It's already happened in Bombay and Delhi. Chennai, slow to pick up. We are a bit conservative, but we are there. It's starting to happen. So right now is hot right now to come to and do a good.
But it's still a niche market.
Absolutely. So are we good here? I'll move on. E-commerce. E-commerce is again a very what do you call it? A lot of resistance for e-commerce in Chennai because I'll tell you what happens. It's a very cultural, sentimental thing. We call it in Chennai. There's something called kairasi. Okay, it means just hands good fortune.
Yeah.
Right. Every customer when they come to a store, they expect the owner to hand deliver the jewelry to them. Okay, they think it's a belief that I've bought from you over a long time, and whenever I bought from you, you bring me good luck.
Yes.
That is
Even in
true all over
Chennai
India.
for saris also they do some
Yes,
kind of
yes,
puja
yes,
worshipping
yes,
and then
yes,
hand
yes,
over the
yes.
product for auspicious.
It is a very difficult thing because the boss has to sit in the store all the time. But it's a cultural thing. It's part of our religiously linked or spiritually linked. So every thing they have to, even if it is a small piece, they have to receive it from your hand. It's called kairasi, right? So it's a very strong belief that you have. So when there is sentiment going on like that, e-commerce, it's going to have a slight thing there, but it is happening. Every chain store now, it is a need of the hour. You can't shy away from it.
Mom and pop store, that's fine. But what about the reality?
Yeah, they have it. They have to have a e-commerce.
No, but you tell
They're
the
there.
owner-
The owner sits. You won't believe the owner
But
sits.
you can't expect the owner from.
Or they have to be there. They have to be there. You will find a nice cabin by the showroom. He will be there. You just
have a number of stores in Chennai.
No, GRT has the main flagship stores in T Nagar. They have probably, I think, 2-3 Ashwin.
Yes.
GRT, 2-3.
They have almost. I think they have chain stores.
Chain stores, right?
Anand Padmanabhan, right?
Yeah. That is NAC.
That is next. Sorry.
GRT is the main, one of the things. So they have to be there. It is a very auspicious thing when you buy jewelry, and of course when it's a big ticket item, If the boss has to be there.
No, is there any limit like above 1 lakh only then
There is no discrimination like that. It's something that your presence should be there. Small ticket item sales, not more than 5 to 25,000, because you're going to swipe the card. I don't think anyone is going to swipe easily 1 lakh on a card or anything like that. So it's the product line is very limited. When it comes to e-commerce segment, I think in general I would like to
Yes.
convince.
In general, when we do it in merchandising, we say it's just like a catalog thing where customers have comparisons for all the kind of brands.
Exactly. So it's a very limited thing where the margins may be very less, but then you have to
Silver jewelry works.
exactly. So it's still you have to come to the store to buy your jewelry. The touch and feel factor is very important, right? Because it's a pride of position. You can't just look at it online. And I think, of course, now a lot of AI and everything has started now. Where you can literally wear a piece of jewelry and.
But in the end, wearability, the flexibility and the look space doesn't come.
See, that's the thing also for designers. I'm sure a lot of designers are there. Sometimes the design looks great on paper, but practicality, the thing. So that's the beauty of a designer, where when they understand the manufacturing also, they create designs which can be produced easily. So that is the thing about. Of course, I've already covered this. The family jeweler sentiment, where it is almost 80% is in Chennai is obsessed with they've from heirloom generations they've bought. They make almost like the owner is like a family friend. They are there in part of all functions, all weddings. So it is become you make a relationship for life. Again, situation is changing. Remember, half the population is below 25. So all these are traditions which have been stuck with our parents' thing. So as youngsters, we need to be more open to these stuff and adapt. So, and I think right now, if you start doing it right now, I'm sure. So again, it is limited to the city, Chennai city as such, because the other cities, they're not so versed with the whole e-commerce thing. This brand is a local Chennai brand, VBJ. It's their brand, support. So they're a big brand. And in fact, Carrot Lane was founded in Chennai. The founder is from Chennai. So Carrot Lane is a national thing. So the founder is a Chennai guy, and it was started in Chennai. So that's a big thing about the e-commerce scenario of Chennai. Yeah. So what Chennai loves? We love yellow, right? Whether it is our team or the color of gold. So there was a survey. Nowadays, a lot of different types of gold colors have come, right? White gold, rose gold is now very popular. And then yellow gold, of course. 70% prefer yellow in Chennai, straightforward. Still, there are certain items that look only good in white. But then the sentiment is yellow. They have to show that. So we have an obsession with yellow with our team as well. And so that is the thing of Chennai. Size of the item matters in Chennai. I'll tell you why. In the demography, if you take the demography, the South India, the women are more petite when you compare to the north, right? And the build is small, so they don't like wearing big pieces. Generally, chunky pieces. No. They like wearing small pieces. When I say small pieces, a pendant will be about 2 to 3 inches in size. Versus Bombay and Delhi may take up till 5 inches. Typically to do with them. They're petite, they're small bit. So they like items to be delicate. That is the idea of, So you guys need to plan, if in case, if you guys think you need to keep this in mind. General demographics of the quality matters. Chennai, very informed crowd. The literacy, the education is quite high, so they know their stuff. They know what they're buying. It's not like you can get away selling stuff and things. So the customer walks in already knowing what the jeweler also knows what they're giving. So quality matters there, regardless of whether it is gold or diamonds. Quality matters. Rubies, we are also obsessed with rubies. Red, we call it kemp. In slang, in our local slang, we call it gemstone. Gemstone, ironically, it can also refer to a synthetic, it can also refer to natural. Right? It's called kemp. For everything, we call it kemp. It literally means ruby. And ruby, more of cabochons, not faceted. Cabochons is a more popular cut because it suits our style of jewelry more than your faceted cuts. Right? I think in diamond jewelry, a lot of faceted goes in. But I'll tell you why we use a lot of cabochons in it. Design motives, understanding design motives is very critical. What the community likes, what the people like. So I'm going to go through that in detail. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. We prefer small sizes, size matters. You see the size? This is a really nice size for us. This is the typical size which works. See, when I'm saying it works, it doesn't mean that big pendants doesn't sell, right? I'm talking about the majority. I'm talking about the bulk of sales where it will happen. So average pendant size is 1.5 to 2 inches. That is the thing. And earrings, 15% smaller than that. I see a lot of pendant sets from the northern thing where there's a pendant of certain size and then the earrings. What we say is the earring size is our pendant size. You understand? The earring size is our pendant size and a little bit smaller is the set. So this is just to give you an overview on how size matters in our region, where it was very hot few years back. It is still hot, but the craze is a bit dying down now. Temple jewelry, it is still there. A lot of the most prominent, goddesses, Lakshmi. Lakshmi is a very prominent thing. So we use a lot of thing. If you see this particular harem, this is a very heavy harem. This is probably a wedding harem. You see these small pendants. You see these small pendants. These alone, single pendants, sell faster. They will all be 2 grams each, 2 to 3 grams each. As a line, they would sell faster than a big piece. So that's what when I say the size matters. That's the whole point of this thing. Typically, gold, weddings, pieces like this are given, as a gift. In fact, I was just looking up for reading why we are so obsessed with giving gold during weddings. In two big religions, even Hinduism and Islam, it is mentioned in the Vedas. In Hinduism Vedas, I read where the bride's father, right, when he gives away, there's a verse they say in Sanskrit. I'm going to quickly translate it in English. They say, I'm giving you my bride, my daughter, with the gold ornaments adorned with her. So it is in the things, even in your Manusmriti, where it's the law book of Hinduism thing. It is mentioned that the gold jewelry, what the bride takes, is her only property, lawful property. So it holds a very strong significance. Even in Islam, when the Molvi does the nikah, the groom has to pledge a certain amount as security to the bride, and it is announced in the nikah. And usually that amount is specified in gold. So it is a very, it is culturally involved there. So I don't think, so gold jewelry is typically, so this is mainly in gold, which is done, the temple jewelry. Bangalore is one of the best manufacturers for this type of work, Prakash work. Very beautiful work coming out of Bangalore. They have innovated it, made it more lighter. Before there used to be heavily wax filled and everything. Now it's all transparent. It is being done without wax. Hollow from behind. So it makes things easier now, to sell and everything. Mixing with gold and diamonds, right? That is again an innovation that I started with this type of work. So this is again, this was hot about 2-3 years back. Now we are feeling a slight decline in trend, mainly because of the weight. Because typically these temple jewelry are heavy. So we are seeing that trend. Probably it may pick up again, once something happening. So this is about florals and stars. This is probably bread and butter. Bread and butter. Every household has one. You keep about 15 sets like this, you're sure to sell it. In fact, De Beers, they ran I'm sure you know the Nakshatra diamonds, right? So they had a whole campaign around this. Stars, flowers, however you see it, however you call it. So it's very popular, and especially the seven stone earring. Every South Indian Tamil women will have a piece. It starts from 3 to 5 cents, can go up to 30 cents. Can go really heavy.
In our apartment with TV also.
Yeah, exactly. But very popular designs. And there are modifications, of course, in the way you present it, right? Different ways of selling stones. Very common, safe design. Saleability is guaranteed if you have this in your stock. Some more options where it is, modified and elaborated. More layers are added to make it more grander. Again, starts as low as 1 cent, can be really budgeted to do it. So this is about another important, very unique design people like is mangoes and peacock. Paisley, manga mala, what we call, is very popular there. Is it popular here? I mean, manga, peacocks, birds, pigeons, not pigeons, swan, annam. We call it annam. Annam is also a very common design people like in Chennai. So this is a few examples. In this necklace, if you see, there's both mango and peacock. The peacock is in emeralds. If you see that double-headed peacock is always, it's a very symbolic thing. If you see that there's some nakas work there, the peacock is in nakas. Again, fully done in rubies and emeralds, cabochons. Very common, bride, probably you can call it bridal. People wear this. So there you see there's a shift here from the plain gold to gemstones. So this is probably this will be about say 50 grams, and that will be about 50 to 60 grams in range of. Both elements are here. Plain gold. Even in plain gold, you will see these elements. Mango. Very common design. Very common. Every household will have it. Yeah. Every household will have it. Different modification, different thing. If you see this mango, it's a bit elongated.
Yes.
So
this sells the fast.
Yes.
This is our tradition. This is our tradition. This is our thing. So you can make different designs out of it, and you can be safe to pitch it in. Again, 22 karat gold. These are done in 22 karat gold. Pendants with again diamonds and more of faceted rubies, diamonds, gold beads. This is a typical thing called rakudi. Rakudi is an ornament which, hair accessory on top of the bun. So right now, no one wears that. So people are converting it into pendants. People who used to hold rakudis, they're bringing it in and adding some hooks in the side and making it into pendants. So again, this is a very common thing. You will invariably find flowers or a bird.
Maybe something innovative they should come.
Exactly. So with different gemstones and diamonds and everything. So this is a very unique thing. So this is about mangoes and peacocks. What does not work? You would be surprised to see Kundan and Jadavai, right? Beautiful jewelry, beautiful line. It works all throughout the country, but there is certain resistance in Chennai for it. The reason why, especially Chennai, not even in Bangalore. I know Bangalore consumes a lot of Kundan thing. It is only limited, but the jewelers have to have it because they have to cater to the different communities there. So it is there. So, but what happens is we have an issue with the way it is made, right? It turns black because of our proximity with the beach and the humidity. It turns black. It turns. I'm going to show you some samples. It turns ugly. We get a lot of complaints. Within 1 year, they bring back the jewel. They say the jewelry has become rotten, spoiled. Actually, it is not the thing. It is only the way it is considered. Predominantly, people use silver behind, right? In Kundan jewelry, that becomes bad. That our humility can't take it. Bangalore, few hours away, you guys are fine. It doesn't happen. But then in Chennai, there's this issue. So because of that reason, not many takers are there. And also, the resale factor of it. People when they buy jewelry, in Chennai, what they do is they want to in the future can we reset it, not even reset it. So when they buy a diamond jewelry, down the line, 10 years, they want to have that option where they bring in, they change the stone and thing. In Kundan, you can't do it. So the minute they know it, it's only a piece where, and also a lot of ambiguity is there in terms of how pricing is done. Because there are a lot of wax that goes in, a lot of things. So people, there's some bit of transparency issue there. But right now, manufacturing techniques have come in where instead of silver foil, manufacturers are using gold foil to reduce this. They are aware of this whole South Indian tarnishing issue. So they're coming up with ways of, instead of using diamond, they are also using moissanite and cubic zirconia, just so that the price becomes attractive. So it's more of just a gold component there, instead of diamonds also there, adding up the price. So that is the whole issue of it. And maintenance, of thing is very critical, especially in Chennai because of the humidity. You have to store it in a Tupperware box, plastic box, airtight Tupperware box. It doesn't look good, but then cotton wrap. That's the best way of preserving Kundan jewelry. Unfortunately, you can't have it in your velvet, fancy looking velvet box because of all the chemicals in the velvet box. It all affects that. So because of this reason, Chennai is not a big, has a big taste for Kundan jewelry. But there are jewelers who sell Kundan jewelry. There is a big market, there's a market where people go and buy it. But then it's not something preferred because of these reasons. So this is one example I wanted to show. You see how black it has become. The stone is the same. It's only the construction behind. The silver behind has turned black, so the whole piece looks dark. If you see that, if you see this, even this piece, if you see this, it's become black. See, here it's a bit more clearer. It is yet to happen probably. Right now, manufacturers and suppliers are giving guarantees in Chennai where if such a thing happens, they are willing to replace it. As in, they are willing to open it and replace it. But then, it's a cumbersome work, right? When a customer brings back your jewelry and, take it back and when we think. So, that's the issue with the... So, any questions here? Kundan and So next we move on to diamonds in Chennai. Chennai loves diamonds. The only city, I will say, in the world which specifically uses only the top quality diamonds. Right? It is something to do with the region. There's a cultural thing attached to it. Even the minute it is a VS, they run so far away from it. Right? I don't think I see this in any of the other metros, even Bangalore. There's a market for everything. There's some people who prefer things, some people they don't care about, quality. Delhi, Bombay, Hyderabad, they don't care much about things. But Chennai is very specific about diamonds. The typical dosham, I'm going to come to it. So the typical diamond jewelry range is in about 2 to 5 carats. The everyday what sells, right? In a necklace, in a typical necklace, 2 to 5 carats. Bridal wear, 10 carats. That's the max. The movement is more in these things for wedding jewelry and diamond jewelry. So this particular piece, and also now with the current situation in the market, people want people want magic to happen in the necklace. They want the necklace to turn 3 ways. So all that is happens in Chennai as well. It can be changed into a pendant. It can be changed into a choker. It can be things. So all that is new, and it works in Chennai as well. So understanding dosham. Now dosham is a word. If you guys ever plan to Chennai, work with Chennai clients and things, dosham is a word you guys need to be aware of. It is basically a black spot in a diamond, right? In gemological parlance, it is an included diamond, right? So probably very slightly VS or something like that. VVS1 eradicates that because there's no inclusion. PVS very very slight is So dosham is a word. Many people what it means is when there is a black spot, it means it will bring bad luck to you. It is a cultural thing.
Because they say that diamonds, whatever energy comes in, we can access it.
Yes. And I don't think this sentiment is there anywhere, right? Where it's so in depth. So they're very thing. In fact, if it is a new person that they are buying from, people, what they are, can you give us few diamonds from your stock? We'll come keep it in our home. We'll check if anything happens. Yes, it happens in diamonds. If it is a new person, if you are a jeweler, they are comfortable with, they come buy from you. If it is a new guy, you have to be prepared for this. They'll keep it by their bedside or in their puja room or so, and just to check if there's anything. But gemologically, it is basically VVS 1 and above. So automatically it comes down to the best quality. So that's the whole significance behind this dosham. Many people use this term for marketing. They say dosham free jewelry. We have a dosham free jewelry. So it is a marketing tool, right? I mean, when they see dosham free jewelry, then everything is ruled out. They are very comfortable. They know that you know the subject. So it is a thing, and of course there is a with the pricing now, right? People are willing to come down on the color, but not on the clarity. So GH is also accepted now. Color is not a issue because in the whole setting we can always accentuate color with all the rhodium and everything. But clarity is something we have to be wary of when you sell diamond jewelry in Chennai, solely because of this. So this is a quick thing about dosham. Next. Single stone and close set adigais. Single stone bangles starting from 1 cent to 30 cents. Every store must have this in their inventory. Every woman, any size, depending upon budget, it will there. The next is adigais. We call it choker. It's nothing but choker. Diamond choker. It just sits on your neck with a pendant round. This is the most popular Tamil Nadu Chennai style. On the heavier side because it's close head, but I will tell you. But typical, these are the two popular things: 15 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. Single stone, depending upon the customer's budget, you have to have few pairs of this in your store. Similar to adigais. Adigais can also be in rubies. Not necessarily they should be in diamonds. So that's about a quick thing about the popular designs and things. Solitaires, again, quality wise, these are 1 carat are the most popular sizes because again 50 to again color, because of the budget, people are willing to come down to H or I color, where but the clarity will still remain the same. Maximum DBS2. That is what sells. Cut. This interesting fact is the table should be 56 to 57%. The reason is when the table is smaller, this is towards the smaller spectrum thing, it has a flower-like effect, the diamond. When it's a bigger table, it's more spread out and more hollow. When it's a small table, it has a nice flower-like look to it, face up, I'm talking face up. So people like that look when it comes to solitaires. Again, it is a market which is very competitive, right? Because it's all transparent. The minute when it's solitaire, people look it up online. Carat lane, this price all the price list is there. So the margins are very low.
They quote really high,
No, but carat lane, I don't think they quote really high in terms of thing, because it's only a few percentage difference between the thing. So the retailers are not able to have any big markups there. And also stock inventory is also literally nothing now, because no one wants to stock anything now. When there's a demand, they immediately RapNet IDEX is there. They look it up. One day the stone comes in from Bombay, send it and do it. So it is not. It only works on demand, and typically solitaires and earrings. So this is a quick thing about solitaire CVD. Now next is CVD. CBD again, stores only offer it. First of all, not many people are aware of it in Chennai. People who know come to the store, they ask for it, the jeweler buys it and gives it. For example, 2 months back, we had a couple in our store. They were very specific. They wanted, CBD diamonds. They already knew about it. They wanted a nice 2-carat pair of diamonds. The cost was only about 2 to 3 lakh rupees. So, but then the issue is there's no resale. There's no investment on it. The money is 2 to 3 lakhs. It's still a big money. But then it is just gone. They've got a thing. So that is for that resale, poor resale. I think the demand is not so great in terms of CBD. Very few retailers. I think there's one brand which has recently opened a very only meant for. I don't know how well they're doing. It is only meant for CBD jewelry in Chennai, which is something very unique and thing in the market thing. But it is gaining popularity and curiosity. We can't shy away from it. Nowadays, all the jewelers and thanks to institutes, it has become a bit more transparent and easy to check. When it initially came out, that whole thing was there where mixing the diamonds and everything. But thanks to now the labs and everything, it becomes easy. You can walk into any lab and get checked and thing. So
Some people are offering buyback for CBD.
but the amount is very less. The amount is very less. See, when you buy back a diamond, right, you can always reuse it. In CBD, the market has not found for that. See, there has to be a rotation. When you buy back gold, you're going to use gold. In CBD, it is not. We are not yet there. It is only demand. They are just fulfilling demand. It's not coming back. When it comes back, it is going to lie with you until someone else comes and asks for it. So there is a lot of resistance, of course, for CBD in Chennai for these particular reasons. But yeah, it is gaining curiosity. So let's move on further. Yeah, gemstone jewelry. 30% market share, like I told you all, for gemstone jewelry. Rubies and emeralds dominate studded jewelry. Sapphires, I'm sure sapphires, we have the same thing where it is considered bad luck, right? Sometimes. But for me, I know a lot of people who, when they buy sapphires, blue sapphires. Sorry, when I meant sapphires, I meant blue sapphires. I should have added that. Blue sapphires are still considered very thing. They have to be wary of it and use it carefully. But I know a lot of people who swear by it, and a lot of people who think so. And also, there is also a strong astrological thing attached to gemstones in Chennai. People wear a lot of gemstones for astrological purposes. So that is a big market, strong market for there as well. Good quality rubies. 5 to 6 carat is the common range of thing that happens there. Navratnam jewelry is probably the best color stone segment in Chennai, right? When it comes to it has all the colors and everything. New gems, tanzanite and morganites. I was just telling Ashwin, it is so hot in the west, commanding really strong prices. It is already commanding good prices in Delhi and Bombay. Chennai has started understanding it and started asking for it. So that's an interesting part of tanzanite and morganites. I would like to go through them things. So Navratnam, I'm sure all of you all know ruby, emerald, blue sapphire, yellow sapphire, diamond, garnet, cat's eye pearl. It has to be in a certain orientation set. It's basically 9 planets. 9 planets, right? It signifies all colors of thing. Spiritual purpose, religious purpose. People wear bead malas, necklaces and everything. So typically that is. So if you see, this is a nice pendant, right? A nice designer pendant. It still holds on to its Navratnam characteristic, but at the same time, it doesn't look like a typical Navratnam thing. So this is the again. This is a typical South Indian bangle where you see the whole star element there as well as Navratna happening alternately. So this is again a nice thing. The necklace there is black onyx beads. So people are improvising on the whole concept, right? Because it has all the colors. So if you see the tennis bracelet for a youngster, it looks nice. at the same time it serves a purpose. It's got all the 9 gems in the thing. And typical star style earring. And here the top earrings is like a drop. Again, a very contempt way to represent the Navratna. So this is that. A nice diamond necklace. It has a bit of everything. Would you call it a diamond necklace or a Navratna necklace? Huh? What would you call it? Diamond necklace? But it's got a nice Navratna touch to it, right? So again, this is a typical style where people love such designs. If you see the size also, it's nice, right? It's delicate, it's dainty, it's not too overpowering, very wearable.
Perfect for something.
Exactly. You don't have to lock it up in the locker. You can wear it for a lot of occasions. Nowadays, people want that. They don't want to just wear it for be it wedding or be it thing. They want to use it instead of storing it in the locker. Tanzanites, stunning blue violet color, great alternative for sapphire. People love this blue sapphire color, but then just because there is a sentiment attached to it, they refrain from it. So this can be a beautiful size for it. It's commanding very high prices right now. It can go, for example, a AAA quality Tanzanite like this is about easily about 30 to 35,000 per carat. So it can command high price, good margins if you're a retailer, to think. Beads are more popular in this segment because they come in different colors, from light purple to dark purple. They, I'll show you some examples. You see this, a nice chandelier with a jhumka, a simple pendant. If you see the color itself, they're different, right? This has a more lighter tone, and that has a more darker tone. So these are now, people want it now. People are curious and they want this in our store. Carved beads, carved tanzanites. Again, beautiful pieces they've mixed with emeralds. Green and blue go really well. It's a refreshing change from the red, right? To the usual thing. And used along with diamonds. Goes really well with diamonds. White and blue, they look the best combo. More than white and red or white and green. So youngsters again are wanting this, to think. Sometimes even bridal jewelry are made from this. We've made some nice pieces in Tanzanites. Morganites are something also very popular now. They are different. They belong to the same beryl family, right? Like emeralds. Just because the color is different, they call morganite. Anyone knows how the word morganite was coined? You've heard of J.P. Morgan, right?
Oh,
It's named after him.
Right.
J.P. Morgan. It's name of morganite. So it comes in different hues, different pinks. Peach and pink are the most common colors that are in use in jewelry. They use in designer jewelry. Peach is very common, popular in India. The pink is, in general in India, and then the pink is more preferred in West. Again, their beads are very common to use. You see this, very subtle. Nowadays, people want to match the jewelry with the clothes they want to wear. Again, these are stuff more targeted towards the young gen, who know this. This was a really nice piece. It was about 3 carat each morganite, faceted morganite with again a nice diamond pendant.
What's the pricing?
40 to 40,000 per carat.
The good ones.
Good ones. They have a diamond like this. They look like pink diamonds.
What about?
The beads are lesser priced. The beads probably 100, 200, 300, 400. But they go well with designer thing. You are not using a synthetic gem. You are using a natural gem. So that's the whole beauty of it, right? When you have a nice pendant, why do you want to put a synthetic thing on? So all that is coming into play now. When you pitch in your sale. So this is two my favorite gems right now, Tanzanites and Morganites. So Chennai, a market which is so obsessed with gold and diamonds, you see this big billboard in our main area showcasing sapphire jewelry. right? You see how we are evolving, right? So that means people are wanting it. The awareness is being created by these big stores.
It's a good ad.
So it's a nice ad, right? So the market is changing, right? So I was very happy to see this. Though he's my competitor, because the awareness spreads, right? Everyone starts to see it. They start to associate with the thing. They know it is something valuable. Otherwise, it's just gold and diamonds. Boring. Color stones is more fun. So this is an ad that I wanted to show you all. So it's a nice ad. Okay. Silver and platinum again. Temple jewelry. There are a lot of Bharatanatyam dancers, right? In South, it's big. So a lot of they wear a lot of these jewelries, and predominantly that is made in silver. So that's where the bulk of it goes. And of course, the price point attracts the young designer jewelries. Now this gold dip silver thing is happening. A lot of times, gemstones are being good gemstones when there's a value. Just to keep it attractive, they set it in silver, so that there's the cost is not, because otherwise there will be a gold component to it, there will be a gemstone component to it. So when they set it in silver, there's hardly any cost.
14K.
14K, exactly. So the margins are good. You literally make money from the instruments. So that's the thing. Platinum right now is attractive because it's cheaper than gold. By the way, platinum rates are now cheaper than gold. What used to be percent, it still has that whole luxury element attached to it. But since the pricing are the same, those who wanted to do white gold band now they are willing to experiment with platinum. But then we have a manufacturing limitation here. Not many manufacturing happening in platinum because it needs a totally different setup. Platinum has a very high melting point than gold. So your average manufacturing unit cannot take platinum jewelry. So it has to be a specific thing. So we are dependent on manufacturers in Bombay and things to supply our platinum jewelry. So that's the thing about and customization in platinum is a bit difficult. It's a very hard metal. You can't get fine designs. It will be very straightforward bands. So it is not suitable for our style of jewelry. So that's a quick overview that I just wanted to touch the silver and platinum. Yeah, so innovations in jewelry manufacturing. There's a new style of setting that has come in called open close setting. Okay, open close setting. In simple terms, it looks like close set, but it's actually open. So what happens is the weight drastically is saved, but the look, it gives the look of a very chunky, nice gold piece. For example, this particular piece is a typical close set design, but it's actually open set. So it is something very, it is right now very hot now in our market because of the weight saving factor. Easily about 10 to 50% weight reduction is there. And these pieces are big pieces. Average average cost is about 80 to 100 grams, and now we are able to make it in 40 to 60 grams. So it increases the saleability of designs and finish. We had initial struggle with finish. It was not as thing, but now I think I am told again Bangalore is specializing in this style of setting, and Coimbatore also. Coimbatore and Bangalore. The beauty is it is done in CAD. It is done in CAD. Whereas close set historically, traditionally, was always done in hand. Entire from the framing to everything. But right now with this open set, the entire thing is done in CAD. The design, just like how you do the open set. And now so the accuracy and the weight projection, everything is there for the jeweler to plan their line. So if you see, these are all close set designs, but CAD done. Very very convenient. It's become very convenient and beautiful jewelry. So if you see this is a typical socket before diamonds are set. You see how light they are, and the detailing is also nice. Crisp detailing, beautiful finish, and lightweight. All diamonds are going to be studded in these sockets. I'll show you another example of this. The back is as beautiful as the front. Don't you think so? Finish. Again, that would have been easily about 40 grams. This is about 15 grams. it is evolving, thanks to innovation and thing, it is evolving, and we are able to do these pieces in our style of jewelry. Again, our peacocks are back. The double peacocks are back. So this is thing about. So we see a good future in this, a sustained future in this, because of the advantage associated with the whole open close. Yeah. So the latest trend, what's hot in Chennai right now is this movie, right? Ponni and Selvan. You still haven't watched the second one? Yeah. It didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't. It was not a mass hysteria like Bahubali or RRR. But down south, it was a very special movie because it was about our regional rulers, kings, the Chola and the Pandava. So the beauty was the women of the story, the main protagonist, they wore such gorgeous pieces that it created curiosity and people wanted. People wanted. So it was the line was actually manufactured by Kishandas and company in Hyderabad. They specialize, they make these jewelry for this particular movie. I'm going to show you some visuals from it. You can see why. So jewelry, very. When Jodha Akbar came, the whole Kundan thing became a rage, right? Yeah. So like that, for us now, this is trend-setting jewelry. For now, we have thing. And apparently, those days, those rulers, right? They used to wear jewelry in pressure points and joints for some benefit out of it. So if you see, after I read this, I used to think back and I see everyone will wear it in their joints and so some spiritual thing happening there, when
Chakra or
exactly. So if you see this, again, mangoes. Can you recognize the mangoes? Mangoes, peacocks, rubies, a beautiful choker, jumki, and that everything, all floral. Those days, not many gods. There were not many gods in the. Again, peacocks. Full peacocks. Now this again after this movie, people are okay, we want this, and now what's helping us is that open closing. We are able to do this in a lightweight and get the same impact in open closing. So a few more images. Yeah, Aishwarya Rai was, she got back in action for this particular movie. Yeah. That's another, you would have heard of Getty Posulu. It's a very popular thing in Andhra, in Hyderabad. Very famous. Getty Posulu. This particular with pearl, chunks of pearl and pendants. This is another Guttu Posulu. Very popular South design. Again, mostly predominantly rubies were used. Stunning jewelry. Typical TN style, Tamil Nadu, Chennai style, traditional things. Yeah. So GRT, a big brand, they created a series inspired by the Chola thing after this movie, right? So that's the impact a movie creates, right? When the things, so they whole inspired by Chola architecture, jewelry that captures 1,000 years in gold. So it's now rage now. This kind of. So that's the thing. Yeah. So just to summarize, I hope I've covered pretty much. It's a tough market to crack in terms of the whole sentiments that are attached to it. But once you're in, once you pitch in your right product line, understand the market, understand the thing, you made relationship for life. They're not going to leave you. Even if you charge more, they'll come to you. Because they know that, they'll trust you to the T. That's the community there, and that's how jewelers are, the right product at the right price. And quality always over quantity. That's the highlight of the Chennai market. So are we good, Ashwin?
Yes, sir. People are happy there.
So yeah, that's about it for this lecture. I would like to, if there's any Q&A.